Hey everybody, John here, and here we have one of my favorite clients, Jenny Huang, and I say favorite because she has a tendency to do everything that I say. So she's pretty much made my job a super easy process. And I'm super excited to have her on today's interview because we're going to dive into her transformation and kind of discuss her 8-month journey with me. So thank you, Jenny, for hopping on to today's call. And let's get straight into it. Okay, Jenny. So you've been working with me for about 8 months now, right?
Yeah.
Nice. So 8 months journey is a long time, but I think throughout this journey, you kind of developed some habits, some eating habits that helped you kind of develop more of a lifestyle with the coaching program, and you're able to now kind of live a life where you feel confident about yourself, and you're living a life that you enjoy with regards to a balance of fitness and your social life, right?
Yeah.
So maybe let's dive into kind of a little bit before this whole transformational process. And before you reached out to me, what was the exact problem that you had with fitness, and more specifically fat loss, that you had prior to joining my coaching program?
Sure. We can probably go back maybe all the way to 2013 was when I was introduced to weightlifting. So I was always kind of on and off with going to the gym. Every time the summer came, kind of fell through. Then the winter came, I was in school, so that was kind of my excuse to not go to the gym. And then the spring came and you're like, oh, I need to get fit for summer. And then I was kind of going back and forth until maybe 2017 was when I was a little bit more consistent throughout the year. And then beginning of 2018, I needed to get my body ready for Europe. So I went on a diet where I followed what MyFitnessPal gave me in terms of calories that I should eat. I didn't go through like a professional coach to tell me what I should be eating. So I pretty much just input my goal in MyFitnessPal. It told me I need to be eating 1,450 calories. So I did that from January to April of 2018. And then from April to about June before my trip, I did intermittent fasting with still eating 1,450 calories. And I lost my fat really fast. But when I came back from my trip and during my trip, eating a lot and you don't sustain that, or you can't sustain that, it just came back to me. Right. And I think that's probably what broke my metabolism, because then last year I would be doing the same thing, like just kind of yo-yo dieting. And I think I got to the point where I'm like, going to the gym isn't doing anything. I really need a fix. So my boyfriend who trained with you a few years ago, he's like, why don't you reach out to John? And I was like, you know what? I think I should, because I think it's not even the fact that I'm lacking motivation. It's my body's just not responding to what I'm doing. So I reached out to you in January and here we are.
Hey, and after, I guess, 8 months working with me, how much weight did you lose total?
So initially we were supposed to do, I think, 12 weeks. And I think we went down to 16 pounds. And I always knew about reverse dieting. I knew that if I had stopped at the 12 weeks that we agreed to, I knew I was going to go back to my yo-yo dieting. So that's when we agreed to do the reverse. But the month between my end program with you before my reverse, we still had to do a month of my body just kind of stabling. Then we did about 4 months of reverse, and now I'm eating like so much food. Like sometimes it's a lot for me now.
Nice. Well, I mean, you can't complain about eating, right?
No.
I love food, and I think you do too. So I mean,
food,
you can't really complain in that sense. But
yeah,
let's take a step back. You kind of mentioned you had a broken metabolism. And maybe let's dive into a little bit more about that, because I know a lot of people, they struggle losing weight, and they're not sure what's causing it, right? And a lot of times they're eating such low calories, doing so much cardio, but they're not losing the weight that they want. So why do you personally think that your metabolism was the result of that?
I think because like I said, I was eating 1,400 calories 2 years ago, and I think my body needed technically more than that, but maybe it just needed me to work a little bit harder in the gym. So my body just was kind of sustaining off of 1,400 calories. And then when I was eating, whatever I wanted after then, I wasn't really upkeeping that. So I think my body just kind of failed to find its balance.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't know how to respond to me eating 2,000 calories one day and then 1,400 calories another day, because I wasn't following a guide. I was just kind of yo-yo dieting.
Right. So there was kind of like a up and down cycle of just gaining and losing weight.
Yeah, like I wasn't being consistent. Like I didn't have anybody hold me accountable, like when I was training with you, where I had to report to you every week. So that made me keep on track. Whereas when I was kind of like on and off, I was like, yeah, like I'll eat a burger tomorrow, but today I'll eat nothing because I feel so guilty about eating the burger yesterday, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like, I guess that relationship with food is just kind of like, you have some good days, some bad days, some good days, and it just kind of is an inner turmoil in your mind, right? And I
Yeah,
think,
like my relationship with food just kind of ended up being not toxic, but a lot of people, they feel like they have to compensate eating a burger by starving the next day, kind of thing.
yeah, for sure. And I think a lot of people struggle like that. And when they go through certain, cheats, they feel guilty, right?
Hmm.
They have to do, let's say, more cardio the following day, or
Yeah.
you have to do some damage control, right? And it's a cyclical process. And I've seen it so many times where people just cheat and they do like 2 hours of cardio the next day. And then it happens again. They cheat and more cardio, cheat and more cardio. It's just not a sustainable approach.
Yeah.
So I guess after working, with me for 8 months now, you've kind of developed those eating habits that now you actually have, a healthier relationship with food, right?
Yeah.
So I think, part of this whole transformational process is, not just getting the results, not just losing your 16 pounds, but on top of that, building a good relationship with food.
Yeah. Like just I pretty much allow myself, like if I can scan it and if it fits my macros, then I can be like, you know what, I can have that cookie, right? I'm not going to be like I can't have it at all. Like I don't want to deprive myself, and in the long term, like I want to be able to intuitively eat, like just
There you go.
whatever my body wants, it want. But when I'm full, like just stop there. I think before maybe I overate, and because I just really wanted to eat it, and now it was just kind of, yeah, it was just like a vicious cycle of me and food.
Right. Yeah, that happens all the time, like a vicious cycle of just eating and not eating. And I've been there myself. Like even though I'm a role model in the fitness industry, I have my times where, let's say I'm doing a competition and I know I have to kind of stick with the diet. I'll cheat here and there. I'll have binging episodes. And what do I do? Next day, step in a treadmill. Next day, step in a stairmaster to do some damage control. But having that relationship with food and your fitness is just not healthy, and it doesn't provide you a long-term sustainable approach to your results and then being able to actually do this long term,
Yeah.
right? So I'm super happy that you're able to adopt this new lifestyle, and the fact that went through this journey with me for 8 months and now you're able to actually pursue this even on your own makes me so happy as a coach, and it validates my work that what I'm doing is actually bettering people's lives and actually making a difference. So
Oh
thank
yeah.
you for actually getting to this point and making it this far. So I have to ask, like, why did you choose, to join my coaching program specifically over any other?
I think just already knowing you prior as a coach, like you're a personable person, already knew you, um, just like, outside of health and nutrition. And why not? Like, why not support someone, why not support a friend? And I know we have mutual friends who have, won shows with your coaching. So I know your work is valid. So like, why not?
Nice, cool. I appreciate that. I appreciate that you put your trust into me, and finally being able to actually go through the 8 month process, actually get you to a point where not only did you lose the 16 pounds, but you're eating way more than ever, and actually fixing that damaged metabolism that you had years ago, right? So now we're at a point where actually eating more food, eating more carbs, enjoying certain treats without having to feel guilty about it and without actually gaining weight. Because I know was it your anniversary lately? With
Yeah, yes,
right, and you
yes,
had a dinner at a steakhouse, right?
yes.
Right, and you
And
said,
I stepped on the scale and I gained like 0.2 pounds.
boom. That's what I'm talking about. That's the exact idea behind this whole approach is being able to live that life of fitness and enjoying, certain occasions where you go out to eat with your significant other or your family or whoever it is, and being able to enjoy a social life. And on
Mhm.
top of that, still get results. And, the fact that you had a cheat meal and were able to wake up the next day 0.2 pounds heavier, in my opinion, like that makes me feel really, really happy for you that you're able to accomplish that.
Yeah.
So congratulations for making it this far. So what part of the program or what process of going through the program do you think made it so effective?
Honestly, I think this is going to be a surprise to a lot of people, but I think the quarantine during COVID actually made it easy because I wasn't tempted to go out. I wasn't around, a lot of people eating things that maybe wouldn't fit my macros. So
Yeah,
I think the 3 to 4 months that we were in quarantine and I just pretty much had my treadmill and my own food was really what I think made it pretty easy for me, ironically enough. Because a lot of people I know, like I don't want to feel like people should feel discouraged, but I know a lot during quarantine people stress eat and stuff, and that's totally understandable. I probably would have myself if I wasn't reporting to you every week. Like I wouldn't have been able to eat a bag of chips and then report to you or lie on my report to you. You know what I mean? Like I would have felt so guilty if I disappointed you in a way. So
right.
I had to stick to my plan.
For sure. So you feel like, I guess, having a coach in your corner kind of gave you that sense of accountability with the
Oh
process.
yeah, yeah,
And I think that's a very big part of a lot of people's results is having an accountability partner to kind of keep you motivated throughout the process and keep you on track with it. And you made my job super easy by just following exactly what I had to say. But overall, you were the one that put in the work, and you walked. I paved the path, but you walked the walk. So congratulations for making it that far. And the fact that we were able to get you to a point where you weren't even losing weight, to a point where now it's like you could probably burn fat on demand. It's such an amazing thing because I remember in the first 3 to 4 weeks of the coaching program, you didn't even lose any weight, correct?
yeah.
So I mean,
Like
tell me a little bit about how you felt during that time, and then obviously transitioning to a stage in the program where you start to actually lose weight faster and faster, and then eventually getting to a point where we can actually eat more and without gaining excess weight, to now having lost 16 pounds, kept maintained that result, and now eating almost 2 times the amount of carbs that you were before. So tell me about that whole entire journey. As
yeah, so I remember like the first month and a half, like no weight was being lost and I was really frustrated. I was annoyed. I didn't understand why. Like I was following, your I was on a meal plan with you. So I was eating everything you recommended me to eat. I was following everything to the T and I wasn't losing any weight. And I think at one point I was really frustrated. I wanted to just kind of like quit. And I was just like, you know what, maybe I'm just not meant to, lose weight or just, look a certain way. Maybe this is my body's set point pretty
Mhm.
much. And a lot of my friends and my boyfriend included, he would be like, you know what, just stick it out. You signed up for 12 weeks, like let's just say. And a lot of people say the first 4 weeks is always the slowest anyways, because I think your body's just adapting to what you're doing to it. Like I was eating the same thing, so I think my body was just kind of shocked. And then eventually, this is considering this is pre-COVID, so I was still going to the gym too. So it was kind of like I didn't believe that I was gaining muscle because I just wasn't losing any, like I didn't look that different anyway, so it couldn't have been anything. And then I think eventually when I started to lose like almost a pound a week, I was like, okay, this is like slowly starting to work. Um, so I felt a little bit more motivated then. And then I think my program or our agreed program would have ended around like the start of COVID or quarantine. Then that's when things started going really fast. And I was like, oh my God, this thing, like this works. Like following macros actually works. It just took time for my body to finally adapt. Um, and I think once you see progress, it motivates you even more. You're like, wow, I can actually do this. Let me keep going and let me keep going. So that's why I was like, okay, let's reverse. Let's see how much I can eat and if I can lose weight. And then when I remember we like bumped up my carbs to around 200 and I was
Yeah.
losing like a pound. And I was like, how is that possible? Like I was eating, less than that before and I was barely losing, but now that I'm eating, 200 grams of carbs and losing fat, I was like, this is amazing. This is what it feels like to finally be able to intuitively eat almost, and just knowing how to fit things into your macros, and just enjoying, just like you said, enjoying yourself, having a balance. And now I'm eating almost 300 grams of carbs, which is
That's what I'm talking about.
honestly, it's a lot of, let me just tell you guys, it's a lot of rice, like if we actually put it.
For sure. For
Yeah.
sure. I mean, again, I'm a foodie and I love food. So in my eyes, that's a blessing. But
Yeah.
of course, you obviously have a bigger picture in
Yeah.
mind. And that is as a result of the reverse diet. So if you guys don't know, reverse diet is a stage in which you are adding more food and eating more as you try to maintain your body weight and getting that metabolism to kind of speed up and getting it to work for you so that you can start to burn fat on demand, right?
Yeah.
So me and Jenny, after working through a fat loss phase for the first 12 weeks, we went into a reverse diet phase for the next 5 months, and she went from eating almost like 100 grams of carbs, which is almost nothing, to now 3 times that amount, and her weight has stayed the same. So ultimately that's a big win in my eyes, and being able to accomplish that through the 8-month journey is definitely one of my biggest client success stories. So now she's at a point where she can go out to eat cheat meals. She can go out to enjoy time with her friends and family, and not, necessarily feel guilty about doing that, and being able to actually live her life and still get results while doing so.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, throughout the 8-month process, after implementing my program, you were able to lose about 16 pounds. You were able to shift your lifestyle habits, right? Now you're actually enjoying the process, eating more foods that you actually enjoy without feeling guilty about it. And now you have your metabolism running for you so fast that you actually feel like you're force feeding yourself.
Yeah.
And it's not that in my eyes, that's a good thing, because when it comes time to actually cut and burn fat and actually reduce your calories again, boom, that's when it's going to be that much more effective.
Yeah.
So that's amazing, and I think your journey is one of the most inspiring ones that I've seen. That's why I wanted to do this interview with you specifically, and you just went through such a transformational process that I'm proud about. So congratulations, big round of applause again for you. uh,
Thank you.
so let's take a look at your life in general, right? Like,
Yeah.
how has it changed since achieving these results?
I think it's not that I lacked confidence before, but you kind of question, like you pick at your body pretty much, like, why don't I look like this? Why can't I look like that? Now I feel a lot more comfortable in terms of, the clothes that I wear, or kind of how I portray myself out there. I basically, my goal is to never make people feel discouraged, like, oh, why don't I now look like Jenny, blah blah blah. I do want to be motivating to others. I do want to be inspiring to others. I've documented some of my journey throughout the 8 months that we've done it. A lot of people have reached out to me, like saying, like, you really motivated me to, go kind of change my lifestyle, work out, be better, be healthier. And it's not, for me, as much as the aesthetics is one thing, it is about the mentality too. Like once you feel better, you just feel better, and you look better in that way. Like you don't necessarily have to look physically better, but once you feel better, you look better, and then you just feel so good about yourself. And I always tell people, I'm like, I've done it all. Like I've done the whole yo-yo diet, I've done a low carb diet, and it doesn't work. You need somebody to hold you accountable. Even if it's for like a month or two, it just helps you, because as much as somebody can be motivated to go to the gym and eat healthy, they can always fall off track, right? Like no one's being like, hey, why did you do that? Or like, you know what I mean? Until you kind of build that habit. Now, yeah, like I've built such a good habit with, eating better and just going to the gym. I have more energy at the gym now. Like
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
I can lift because I'm eating more carbs. So I think it's patience. It's I don't know, I think I carry myself a lot differently because
Right.
of how good I feel.
Right. So it radiates to like other areas in your life.
Yeah.
Like, just your energy, just your aura, just like that vibe, I guess, overall.
Yeah. Exactly. Like you can tell when someone feels good. Like you just look at them and be like, wow, she feels good.
For sure, for sure. And I personally feel that way too. During the quarantine period, I wasn't in the best shape and it affected my mindset. I
Yeah.
was like super demotivated and I didn't even want to make it to the gym. And that, carried over to other parts of my life, like my relationships, um, everything that was revolved around my life. I just wasn't performing and my mind wasn't in the right place. And I recently started my own mini cut to get myself back into shape. And ever since changing up those habits, my mindset has also changed. So it goes beyond you know just a physical change. It's definitely a transformative, emotional, spiritual, mental change that you'll receive from committing to a fitness journey and being able to actually make it from the beginning stage all the way to the end. And you were able to accomplish that in 8 months, and we have so much more potential to unleash. I know what you're capable of. So I'm gonna end it off with this last question here. When are you and me are going to step on stage? That's the final question.
It's so funny. I actually feel like I had a feeling you were going to ask me about stepping on stage. Honestly, it is something that I would love to do. It'll definitely push me to my limits, see how far I can push myself. But to be honest and to be transparent with everyone, I know it's not the easiest thing. It takes a toll on you mentally, physically. Just I kind of I think I really need to get myself in a good place mentally before I can be like, let's step up on stage. Let's work on it, because um, it's a hard thing. I'm not gonna say it's easy. I've never done it. I can just watching our friends go through it. I know it's not easy, so I have to get myself in that mental state. But it is definitely something that I want to do, and you definitely know who I'm gonna reach out to once
For
I do.
sure. For sure. So we'll obviously check that off the bucket list one day. But congratulations again for making it this far. And I know that even though you made it to 8 months, again, there's a lot of potential left to unleash and a lot of results left to be done. So continue on with this journey now that you've built all those habits and built, all of the necessary tools for you to apply into your own life, into your own routine. Continue on with it. I know that you can make it to the end and then some. So keep it going. And then from there, we're going to take it to the next level when you're ready. Okay.
Cool. Thanks, John.
Awesome.
Honestly,
Okay. So yeah,
yeah,
thank you
I
for having
honestly
me.
wouldn't have been able to do this without you.
Hey, for sure. Honestly, I'm here for you. So I'm super proud that I was able to actually go through that journey with you and then be able to take it this far. And now, you're pretty much your own bird and you're flying away, kind of like a mother bird letting her, child birds fly away. Right.
Yeah.
So, okay. So we'll end it there, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Again, thank you, Jenny, for hopping on and doing this interview with me. I wish you all the best. Good luck with everything. And again, don't reach out, or make sure to reach out if you ever feel like you're unmotivated, stressed, or something like that, to make sure that we continue on this journey together. Okay?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.